So, oh wait, it's 7. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video I'm going to be sharing recipes with you guys. So I'm going to be sharing 3 new dinner recipes that are higher in protein and lower in points on WeightWatchers and filling because I like to take advantage of using up some 0-point foods. So today we're going to be making taco calzones, and I'm so excited. Before I get started though, if you enjoy this video or find it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be making 2-ingredient dough for these calzones, and to make that 2-ingredient dough, I'm going to use some of this protein flour blend. So this is from PE Science, and it's worked really well for me with 2-ingredient dough. Usually what I do is 1 cup of all-purpose flour and then a 1/3 cup of this protein flour, and that makes it so that each portion, which I get 2 portions, are 7 points. And when I usually make 2-ingredient dough with just the all-purpose flour, it's a 9-point portion. So it saves us 2 points on the dough for their calzone, but it also adds some more protein. Then once I make the 2-ingredient dough, which I use some baking powder and some Chobani non-fat plain Greek yogurt, I'm gonna mix that all together and form the dough. I'll probably also add some type of seasoning to that, maybe like some garlic powder, onion powder or something, but I'm gonna figure out what I'm adding. I'm gonna make the dough, and then I have some 99% lean ground turkey that I made into taco meat the other day, so this is just leftover. So I'm gonna do about 4 ounces, I think, on each calzone. Then I'm gonna use some reduced fat Mexican style cheese. I'm gonna use a 1/2 serving for 2 points. Then I've got a can of corn here, so I'm gonna mix in some corn in the filling, and then I think that's all I'm gonna put in the inside. I'm gonna close that up, and then I'm also just gonna make some salsa to dip these in. So I'm gonna be making the medium salsa that's in my cookbook, and I think that'll just be the perfect side to dip these calzones in. I'm gonna get started making the 2-ingredient dough first, and I'll make the calzones, put them in the oven, and then I'll make the salsa. And right now I've got my oven preheating to 400 degrees. I'm gonna get the dough made and make these calzones. Okay, so the calzones are done. I ended up cooking them for 20 minutes at 400, and then I flipped them over and I baked them for another, like, I think it was 8 minutes total. So the cheese is melted, the dough is done, and I have a side of medium salsa. So I'm excited to eat this. Like I said, this entire calzone is 9 points total on WeightWatchers, and it's actually really big. So I'm gonna have these 2 halves for 9 points. It's 7 points for the 2-ingredient dough that I made because I used the protein flour. Usually it would be 9 points, but either way works. I just like to use the protein flour to get a little more protein too. So it's 7 points total for the 2-ingredient dough, and then 2 points for the serving of cheese I used. The corn is 0 points, and then the salsa I'm gonna dip it in is 0. And when I was making these, I was debating between corn and veggie mix, but I decided to just do the corn, so I'm excited to see how it is. It's still really hot, but I'm gonna dip it in the salsa, and that is my dinner. So that's dinner number 1, and I will be back with another one that is high in protein and lower in points. Okay, so I'm back with dinner number 2, and this is something that I made us the other night, and honestly, it was just so good. It made 3 servings, so I was able to eat the leftovers, and the leftovers were also just as good. But it's kind of a version of the sesame noodles that I like to make, but a little bit different. So I actually get a lot of questions about my sesame noodle recipe and if you could use something other than seafood, because I usually like to use shrimp and imitation crab, and this one today is gonna have chicken in it. But I'm gonna be using my favorite noodles from Trader Joe's. These are the Thai Wheat Noodles. They come in individual packs like this, and each box comes with 3. 1 pack of these noodles is 8 points on WeightWatchers, and today I'm gonna be using 2 of them, like I said, to make 3 servings. So I'm gonna be using these, but that won't be until the end. Usually the noodles are the last thing that I add. What I'm gonna do to start is I'm gonna heat up 2 teaspoons of toasted sesame oil. This stuff is so good and adds such good flavor to these dishes. Whenever I make like fried rice or noodles like this, I always make sure to use a little bit of sesame oil. So I'm gonna be using 2 teaspoons of that to cook up a red bell pepper. And then I'm also going to cook a bag of these sugar snap peas. This is an 8-ounce bag I just got from Walmart, and I'm just gonna cook both of these for about 7 or 8 minutes so they get a little bit soft. This meal actually comes together so quickly because I'm gonna be using pre-cooked chicken. And actually last time when I made it, I used grilled chicken breasts that were pre-cooked from Sam's Club. Today I'm gonna be using some Tyson black pepper and herb chicken. This is my favorite. I really like the blackened chicken that they have, but it is pretty spicy. So this black pepper herb one is much more mild. It just has a good like kind of peppery taste, and it's got a lot of flavor. And what I like about these is that the chicken is always really good like texture and stuff. It's never chewy or weird like some pre-cooked chickens are. So the way that I'm making this is I'm just cooking it in the air fryer because it's frozen right now. So I popped it in the air fryer. I won't fully cook it through because I don't want it to get too dried out in there. So I cooked it for about 10 minutes and it should be good now, but I'm gonna just be adding it into the noodles once they're pretty much done. So that made it so convenient for me to use the pre-cooked chicken breast, and now I'm gonna be using this. You could use any type of chicken breast. You could also just use raw chicken and cook it up separately and add it to this recipe, but I really like how convenient it is to just use the pre-cooked chicken. I'm gonna start cooking the veggies, and then I've got the chicken in the air fryer. Once that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and add the 2 packets of noodles, and I'm also gonna be using some soy sauce today. I don't have a lot left though, so I'm gonna have to use some coconut aminos, which are really similar. I feel like they're not as salty. I'm just gonna use a little bit of each because I don't have much soy sauce, but you can use soy sauce or coconut aminos. Then I'm also gonna be using this seasoning from Kinder's. It is their Japanese barbecue with soy, ginger, and garlic. And so once I get the veggies cooking, I'm gonna add a little bit to that. And then once the noodles and chicken are in there, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of this sauce. So pretty much the same as the seasoning, but it's the Kinder's sauce. So I'm gonna add that as well as the soy sauce. Then once all of that is in there, what made this so good and what we liked so much about it, I'm gonna spread out the noodles in the pan to leave an opening and then cook up some eggs. So I'm gonna scramble 3 eggs and just cook those with the noodles. I usually just cook them in the middle first until they start to form scrambled eggs. And then once they're eggs like that, I mix them with the noodles. And it's kind of like fried rice, but just with the noodles. It is so good, and that was our favorite part about this. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started cutting up the veggies and adding them to the pan and getting those cooking. But this goes really fast once I've got those done and the chicken ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and assemble this. Okay, so dinner is done. Adam's excited?
Yes, very excited.
We got 3 portions again, so I put one in a leftover container and then we each got one, but you can see it is a good portion size. So I ended up using about 12 ounces of the chicken, so we each get 4 ounces in the serving, and then we just divided the 2 packs of noodles into 3 pretty much. And yeah, it comes out to a total of 7 points for this serving. So for the recipe, I just did the recipe builder in the WeightWatchers app, and it was 17 points for the 2 packs of noodles, 3 for the 2 teaspoons of oil, and 2 for the Japanese barbecue sauce. Divided by 3, that is 7 points for the serving, which is not bad. We actually also made some pot stickers to have on the side, and that's what we usually like to do. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and try this. I know we already love this one, but let's go ahead and give it a try. I need to get a pea pot. It is very hot, just so you know.
I left mine out for a while, so oh!
And I did decide to add a little bit of red pepper flakes because we like a little bit of heat, but that's just optional. So cheers.
Cheers.
Isn't that chicken perfect in there?
It's so good.
I was hoping that would be good. I honestly, it has a different flavor than the grilled chicken that we use from Sam's.
Yeah.
But both of them are really good.
It's really...
I don't know which one I like more, honestly.
My voice is like going, I don't know why. Sorry.
I feel like the black pepper chicken's really good though. So yeah, okay. We're gonna go ahead and eat.
Yes.
But I'll be back with dinner number 3.
Woo!
Okay, so we are on to dinner number 3, and tonight I'm making us meatball subs. They're gonna be turkey meatballs. I'm gonna be using 99% lean ground turkey. This is 0 points on WeightWatchers, and for 4 ounces of it, it has 28 grams of protein and 120 calories. So I'm gonna be making 4 servings with the meatballs, but what I'm gonna be adding to them is just a 1/3 cup of panko breadcrumbs, then 18 grams of grated Parmesan. That's how much I could have for 3 points, I wanna say, when I was making the recipe. So 18 grams, and I just weighed it out on my food scale. I'm gonna add 1 egg to that, and then I'm also gonna add some chopped up fresh basil. I'm gonna mix all that together to form meatballs, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cook them in the pan until they're pretty brown, usually about like 8 to 10 minutes. And then I'm gonna take them out of the pan and start making the sauce, which is gonna be a can of tomato paste. I'm also gonna put a can of diced tomatoes, so we get some tomato chunks in there. And then I'm gonna add some minced garlic to that, and salt, pepper, and maybe some other seasoning, but that's gonna be the sauce that I'll just cook in the same pan. I'm gonna take the meatballs out and make the sauce quickly. Then I'll add the meatballs back in and cook them for another 10 to 15 minutes. Also, while the meatballs are cooking in the sauce, I'm gonna make some pepper. So I'm gonna slice up this bell pepper, and then I don't have any fresh mushrooms, so I'm just gonna use a can of mushrooms. And I'm just gonna saute those in a separate pan, and that'll just be the veggie that we're gonna put on the sandwiches. Now, I wanted to have lower point rolls. I thought these were lower point, the ones that I got. They're actually 7 points on WeightWatchers, so this will be higher just because of that. But the turkey meatballs are gonna come out to 1 point per serving, and like I said, it'll make 4 servings. So I'll have to track a point for that, then 7 for the roll, and then I want a side with it, so we're gonna have some sweet potatoes, which the serving size is for 4 points, and it's about 12 pieces. I'm just gonna air fry these, and we're gonna have that as our side. I might also add a little bit of light shredded mozzarella cheese, but that'll just be a point or so. First, I'm gonna start with the meatballs. Once I get those browned and the sauce going, then I'll make the bell pepper and the mushrooms. so my dinner is done. I went ahead and put it on the roll that I had. So I did a little bit of cheese on the bottom and then I did sprinkle some on top, but I've got 4 meatballs on here. That serving's only 1 point on Weight Watchers. The cheese is a point, the roll is 7, and the fries are 4. So this is a 13-point dinner, which is definitely a little bit of a higher point dinner, but definitely worth it as well. And it's gonna be a filling one. In my FitnessPal, for everything, it is 582 calories, and it's got about 43 grams of protein. Just counting the meatballs, those have 34 grams of protein and are 234 calories for that serving. This is my dinner. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this now, and that wraps up this video. I'll have the recipes typed out in the description, as well as the serving sizes, the points, and the macros, and the calories. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. These are just some of the things that I try to make that are quick and easy for meals for us that Adam enjoys as well, and low point, high protein options. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Bye.
I was waiting for it.